welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and I am so freaking excited for today's video. Okay, so if you've seen my previous video or just like watched my videos before, you'll know that I freaking love ALDI. If you have an ALDI near you and you're not shopping there, that is single-handedly the worst mistake of your life, because ALDI is amazing. And I did a video on showing a ton of home goods that I purchased from ALDI at amazing prices, at great quality. And I mean, I can honestly bring the camera around my house and point to everything that I've gotten from ALDI because it's amazing. The weekly ALDI finds are tremendous. You wouldn't expect someplace like ALDI to have such great things, but like, it is amazing. And this week, ALDI had makeup. So I actually remember years ago, I think I was in high school, ALDI had these little eyeshadow duos and they were amazing. I had one, it was like a silvery color and then a navy shimmery color, and then I also had another one that was brown and like a pink, and they were really good. Like, they were pigmented, they went on smoothly, the packaging was amazing, and they were only a couple of dollars, which was amazing. And I haven't seen makeup since then, but I know that they had sold it because in the UK, I believe, they have a lot more products, and I've seen great things about the makeup that they do offer. So finally, they brought back some of that makeup to America, or at least to my region, and I bought several different things that I'm going to be trying out. All of these were really good deals. The brand that is the ALDI brand is Lacura, which is also the same brand that I got back when I was in high school. And in this week's ALDI Finds ad, they had primers, mascaras, as well as eyeshadow palettes. So I got 2 mascaras, a primer, and a palette that I'm gonna be testing out on camera. And I'm also going to, like, first impressions are great because you can see how someone first reacts to a product, but I'm also going to use them for a couple of days, and at the end of this video give kind of an update to see how these products are performing, how they last throughout the day, how they work with different products, stuff like that. I also want to note that it doesn't say on the box that they are cruelty-free, but when I researched it online, it said that all of Lacura products are cruelty-free, so there's that. I was actually nervous when I saw these. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a video on this, but then I was like, but like, it's ALDI. I have high expectations for ALDI, and they do not let me down. ALDI rarely lets me down. So, the products that I have that we're gonna test out today. Okay, so for $3.99, they have 4 different primers of the Snapshot Ready line that you can choose from. There is Foundation Primer, Redness Reducing Primer, Pore-minimizing, and then Illuminating. I got the Illuminating. It says this smoothing illuminating primer creates the perfect canvas for makeup, helps skin look more radiant and hydrated to become photo ready in a flash. So it's kind of like a similar packaging to like the Maybelline primers. I think also like Smashbox primers. So it's kind of like the same design bottle. So I don't know if that's what like they're trying to mimic, if it's supposed to be like a dupe or not. For some reason I thought it was gonna be pink, but it is just white and doesn't smell scented. I'm gonna put on half of my face and see how it looks. Okay, so it doesn't have a ton of luminosity. It does, I think, look a little bit more luminous than this side without primer. It almost just feels like moisturizer. So it did feel like it moisturized my skin. Like, my skin feels pretty good. It doesn't feel too slick. I think it did add a little bit of luminosity. I have some moisturizer as well as SPF underneath this. So far so good. I am interested in the like redness reducing and the pore minimizing, but I already have primers like that, so I thought I'd try the illuminating. I mean, I know my skin had some dewy lookingness before I put this on, but I feel like it did enhance it. We'll see how the foundation looks over top of it and how it lasts throughout the day. To test it out with a foundation, I'm going to use one that I know how it performs. It's my favorite. It's the CYO Long Lasting Wife Proof Foundation. This is very unfortunately no longer sold because CYO is closed for good. which is one of the greatest tragedies of this decade. I'm kidding. With my Juno & Co sponge, I'm gonna apply the foundation, and it is a little bit too dark for my skin, but since I'm wearing a turtleneck, I figured now it's gonna numb this. And I don't feel like mixing in a lighter shade with this right now. I mean, I love this foundation and I think it looks really great on the skin, but I think, I could be wrong, so we're gonna see when I test this further, but I think it does make the primer help my skin look a lot more natural and smooth. You can see the dewiness coming through on my skin through the foundation. I mean, this foundation looks good on my skin regardless, but I feel like the primer gave it just like a little bit extra something. Use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Unfortunately, Aldi did not have like a foundation or a concealer. Otherwise, I would have been all over it. I think I saw that in the UK, they actually do have like at least a powder foundation, if I saw correctly. So if you're in the UK, grab that up. All right, so the other products that I got from Aldi that they had are eye products, but I'm just going to try and quickly do the rest of my makeup if you want to watch. If not, you can just skip on through. So I'm going to take the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in shade Tan Lines, I think it is. It doesn't actually say. Then for blush, I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Cream Thing in shade Work. Okay, for eyebrows, I used the LA Colors Browy Wowie. Still hate that name. The next item from Aldi I got is an eyeshadow palette, and I got their Naturals palette. So packaging, 10 out of 10. This was $5.99, and it comes in a little tin, which is like, seems pretty high quality. It also has a mirror, which for $5.99, like Aldi's just showing up all of these brands. They can do it for this amount. Like, what is everyone else's excuse? And they had 4 different options for eyeshadow. I think they were sold out of 2 of the colors when I went, and I went the same day that they were released. They have the Intense palette, the 2 palette, which is a bunch of cool tones. That's what I got. The Smoky palette, and then the Nectar palette. Not only does it come with a mirror, it also comes with a brush, and look at these pretty neutrals. I didn't have anything really like this, so I thought I'd go with this one. The red palette also looked gorgeous as well as the Nectar, but I already have eyeshadows in my collection, so I was like, I should probably get something new. I don't really do many grays or silvers, like really at all, so this will be a nice little try out. Since I did put the Illuminating primer on my eyelids, which do get oily, I am going to put an eyeshadow primer. This is the NYX Proof It. Okay, the brush it comes with actually seems pretty nice. It's dual-ended, kind of more like a flat brush on this side, and then like a fluffy, slightly angled brush. The colors look really gorgeous, and they have a good mixture of shimmery, satin, as well as matte. I'm excited to try out charcoal. I don't know if I'll use that today. So to start, I think I'm actually gonna put this shade Vanilla all over my lid, just as like a matte shade to set everything. Okay, I don't know what kind of look I want to go for, because usually I don't do these kind of colors. I'm gonna take Sand, which is right here, on a larger fluffy brush, and just kind of put that all over my lid as just like a little wash of color. I'm gonna zoom you in. This is a very pretty cool toned brown. Like it's a really, actually kind of more like taupe. Okay, that seemed to perform okay. Next, I think I'm gonna take Lilac right here, like an angled fluffy-ish brush. Put it on the outer part of the eye. Okay, that shade seems a little bit patchy, I think. But I might be able to just blend that out. Okay, I think it looks better blended out, but I feel like it still kind of looks a little bit patchy. But maybe it's just that shade, maybe it's just that brush. I'm gonna take a different brush, go in with Pistol. It's like a charcoaly gray. Okay, that I feel like went on a lot smoother. So it could be just the shade or the brush. Okay, back to using the ALDI brush. I'm going to try to add a little bit more darkness with shade Charcoal. So let's see how this works, because I feel like black eyeshadows are really hit or miss. Okay, so it's not bad as far as the shade. I feel like that one was also a little bit patchy. I think that's my main complaint right now. But you know, it could also just be the other products that I'm using. So I'm gonna take a couple shimmer shades. They have several that I really wanna try. I think I'm gonna go with this shade Mocha right here, and then Champagne right here, just on my finger. I'm gonna put the darker one closer to the edge. Then I'm gonna take Champagne that further in. I will say it has a tiny bit of fallout, but really not that much for how dark the colors are. I'm gonna take this satin color Orchard and the smaller flat brush and put that in my inner corner. Okay, that's pretty. Then I'm gonna use this side of the ALDI brush. I think I'm gonna take Pistol again on the lower lash line. Okay, I will say that the foundation is already creasing a little bit, so the primer doesn't necessarily help with that. Then I'm gonna take that same fluffy brush from earlier without adding any extra product and puff that out. Okay, so not bad on the eyeshadow. I did have a little bit of trouble blending it out and it looking a little bit patchy, but I think it still looks good once it's blended out, and I will test over the next couple of days using it with different brushes, different products to see if it's just a certain technique that I need to use to make it work. So the next two products that they had are mascaras. They actually had 4 options of mascaras. They had the 2 that I bought, and then they had the waterproof versions of each of those. So the first one is the Rise Above Extend, Lift, Volumize. It's a really pretty blue bottle, like that. It has an interesting wand. It's like traditional, but then at the top it has like those fanned out little extra disc or something. So then the other one is the They're Brilliant Define, Lengthen, Volumize. Ooh, this one's heavy. That's really pretty too. And this is kind of just more your traditional fiber mascara brush, but it does have kind of like an hourglass look. So I'm gonna be trying both of these out today. I'm going to do like 1 coat of this on this side, 1 coat of this on this side so we can look, and then I'm gonna swap and see how they look together. First, I'm gonna curl my lashes. Okay, there's 1 coat of this one on this side. The brush does feel a little large for the eye. Not bad, but we'll see. Then the Rise Above. Okay, the blue one I do like more. I actually really like the spikes on the tip because it helps to get like the very ends fanned out. So that's just 1 coat of each. Now I'm gonna go in, actually I think I should do 2 coats of this on this side. Okay, 2 coats of their Brilliant one. Actually not too bad. I think it looks pretty good. 1 coat didn't do a whole lot, but 2 coats. I might even try a 3rd coat. Want a 2nd coat on this side. The blue tube seems to be really good at separating the lashes. I feel like they don't look too different, but I think this eye looks a little bit more lengthened. I mean, overall, I think they do look really nice. And for $4, like, that's really good. I typically only do 2 coats of mascara, but I thought, why not try a 3rd just to see where we can get. Okay, and that is a third coat on each side. I mean, I think they look really nice. There may not be like completely life-changing, but they are really good mascaras, especially for their price. I mean, there are a couple drugstore mascaras that are this cheap, but I am impressed for the price how good these are. I do want to see how they last throughout the day, if they keep a curl on the lash, if they transfer down. Okay, I will try to remember tonight to do a check-in to see how the makeup has lasted throughout the day, but then, like I said, I will also be giving these some more tests throughout the week and then doing a follow-up. But overall, I'd say I am impressed with like a grocery store like Aldi coming up with makeup. Mascaras is probably the most impressive product that I got. I do like the palette, but I do want to try it out more to see if I'm just doing something wrong that for the patchiness and everything. I do need to wash my brushes, so I'll probably do that today and see if that makes a difference. The shimmery shades in here seem to be fine. They didn't take like extra blending out, so those are at least good. And they're really pretty colors, but so far so good, and I will check back in with you. Okay, so it's been a little while since I initially tried out all the products, so I've been using them for I think about 2 weeks by now, and I have some more final thoughts after trying them out with other different products. With the Illuminating Primer, I would say that I do like this product. It does provide some illumination and hydration, and my skin does feel a little bit more hydrated and moisturized before I put on my foundation, but it's not an ultimate game changer for me because I don't necessarily need more hydration. My skin is kind of oily normal right now. It could be a game changer if you do have dry skin, and this type of hydrating primer typically does really well for you. I do really like the radiance it provides after you put on foundation. I feel like it does still come through. However, I don't really know if I can speak to how long it makes the foundation last, if it makes it last any longer than normal. I didn't notice like a huge amount of difference to say one way or the other, but it definitely doesn't shorten the lifespan of my foundation. I will say that it's either helping but in a very small amount, or it's just staying the same. I would like to try the Redness Reducing and the Pore-minimizing primers that they also have that I didn't purchase, so if I do see those, I might try those out because those might be better fit for my type of skin. But for $4, I think for how it performs, it's a really good deal and it's a good product. Next is the eyeshadow palette, and this was the product I was most excited about. I have conflicting thoughts. So as far as the packaging and everything, I really love that. I love that it comes with a brush for only $5.99. I think that is just an amazing deal for what you get. Some of the shadows are hit or miss. There are a couple of them that do end up looking a little patchy and you have to really work with them. Like, I don't think I could tell in person as much as when I went back to edit the footage from when I first tried it, but one of the shades I used, the darker shade, definitely looked very patchy and did not very patchy, but it looked patchy and it did not blend in the way I was hoping it would. So some of these shades are really good. Like, I really like the ones on this side. These ones I haven't used as much. I'd say for the most part, I do like all of their shimmery and satin shades. I think those are a lot better than some of the other shades. I think it was either Pistol or Charcoal that made me look kind of patchy earlier in this video. So those, you really do have to work with them and blend them out longer than you might have to with a different palette, but they're not horrible. I think for $5.99, they are good quality and they're not impossible to use. Like, I've tried some palettes where it's just not worth it to try and work them out because the amount of like patchiness and everything is just too much effort. But these, I think you can get them to work. Like, I did use them today, and I mean, I think they look a lot better today. I hope this looks good on camera when I go back to edit it, but all of the things I used today, I don't think they look patchy. I think they look good. I used this shade Willow as like the primary shimmery shade, and I really like it. I do like the light shimmery shade Orchid right here for the inner corner. So I'd say most of this palette is really good and it is worth trying out, but there are a few outliners that are a little bit patchy that require more work that might not be worth using depending on like how much time you have. So it might not perform the same as like a $30 palette, but I think for the price, it is pretty good. Moving on to the mascaras. So I was kind of iffy on these when I first tried them, and I've been trying them out with doubling up either together or with other mascaras that I own. And today, get up close so you can see. Today I have one layer of the Rise Above as well as one layer of their Brilliant. I believe I use this one first and this on top. And I do like them together better than separate. I think, like, especially this one, 2 coats of just this one doesn't do enough for my lashes for me to just wear it. I have to couple it with something else. This one is a lot better on its own, but I still prefer to use it with another mascara. So I do like these. If I had to only purchase one, I would purchase the Rise Above. I don't know if I would repurchase the They're Brilliant. Like, it's a decent mascara, and $4 for a mascara is really good. However, like for Essence, you can get a mascara for $4 that I might like a little bit more than I like this one. I did notice that neither of these transfer throughout the day, which is really good. They stay put. I've got to say, even though this one wasn't my favorite, I love the packaging of this the most because the top part is really heavy. So like, just holding this feels so powerful because like, this is so light and this is heavy. It just, I don't know, there's something about it. It's like when someone has a Chase Sapphire card that's like the metal and it's all heavy compared to like my plastic credit card that I have. Overall, I think everything I got was a good product and I'd say I could reasonably recommend them. I think I was a little disappointed because I am very much so in love with Aldi, and like their home decor and things like that are just like, have never let me down. And I was kind of expecting something, I was expecting like luxury type makeup at Aldi prices when I went into this because of just how much I love Aldi. It was a high expectation, so it's like not fair. I think this operates pretty well as far as drugstore makeup, so I think it's definitely worth a purchase. I would love to try out more of their products in the future, so I'm really hoping that they bring more to the US for us to try. So in conclusion, I'd say overall everything I tried was pretty good, and honestly it's just really cool that Aldi has makeup now. So I feel like I have rambled on for quite enough time by now, so thank you so much for watching. I hope that you give this video a like because it really helps out my channel. You could also subscribe, comment down below, anything. Thank you so much for your support, and I will hopefully see you in my next video.